transit, and the blight on the streets that aren't in high-income zip codes.
Sawyer now joins the list of official candidates. Current Mayor Jim Strickland, former Memphis Mayor Willie Harrington, and small business owner LaMichael Wilson. Okay, state Democrats are crying foul over a controversial abortion bill. They say their voices were silenced during the debate, but the Republican House Speaker says he was just following the rules.
Local 24 News reporter Chris Bungard reports on the debate as well as the fallout from our exclusive Tennessee State Capitol newsroom.
A very busy week here at the state capitol leaves lots of questions in these legislative hallways.
Mr. Speaker, I move previous question on the bill as amended.
Moved.
Cries from Democrats that a member of their party was left unheard during the fetal heartbeat bill debate Thursday showed the continued steep divide between Tennessee Republicans and Democrats on abortion. Representative Gloria Johnson wanted the bill amended to allow for abortion in cases of rape or incest, but she was not called on as the bill was quickly passed and claps came from the gallery.
Order. Order in the room.
The Republicans did everything they could just to silence her and silence Tennessee women.
Republican Speaker Glenn Cassida said he followed House rules in not calling on Johnson when there's a motion to vote on the bill by moving for previous question. The Republican supermajority agreed.
Under parliamentary procedures, when someone moves previous question, that takes precedence over amendments.
Democrat leader Mike Stewart says his party would not have done it that way if they were the supermajority.
If the roles were reversed and Representative Van Huss wanted to speak his views on this issue, which are very conservative and different from mine, it wouldn't even occur to me to try to silence him. I think people should be able to speak on issues of importance.
And next week begins a meatier part of the legislative session up here. House members begin dissecting the state budget proposed this week by Governor Lee. Reporting from the state capitol, Chris Bungard, Local 24 News.
What if you're in a dangerous situation, but for whatever reason you can't talk? How do you notify 911?
Well, coming up, problem solved. How new technology will soon let you text in an emergency.
Otis Sanford. Get his point of view weeknights on Local 24 News at 5.
The largest boat expo has partnered with the Good Life Expo. The first 1,000 plays win a boat. The next 1,000 plays win an RV. Get ready to play. Come experience the bigger and better. MemphisBoatExpo.com. MemphisBoatExpo.com.
We've never had more. AutoNation has a surplus of used vehicles. To clear out inventory, our one low price just got lower. Over 20,000 one-price pre-owned vehicles priced to sell. Now through Sunday, only at AutoNation.
Big savings now. Get the most for your refund this week at FFO Home. Dual power reclining sofa or dual fabric family sectional, only $8.98. Comfort Home oversized rocker recliner, just $4.98. 5x8 foot rugs, a buy at only $95. The lowest prices in the area and 36-month financing, interest free.
Hi, I'm Larry Zigarelli, president of FFO Home. We offer top quality furniture and mattresses at the lowest prices in town.
I'm Mike Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One way to know which lawyer and law firm to hire is by asking your friends or family, or even other lawyers, who they would recommend. At Morgan & Morgan, thousands of our cases come from previous clients who recommend that their family and friends call us when they need help. We also receive thousands of referrals from doctors, lawyers, and even judges who recommend that their patients and clients use us for their injury cases. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Wednesday, Colton is here live. So who will he be bringing?
The cat's out the bag.
And what's next for Colton?
It's a little intimidating.
Then Thursday, an exclusive interview with the new Bachelorette. Who will she be? Only on Good Morning America.
Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. In April 2018, a jury awarded a woman $3.6 million after her IVC filter broke, requiring open heart surgery to remove the broken pieces. Call IVC Filter Justice now.
Please call 800-917-9437.
It's
It's our Factory Direct patio furniture sale at Family Leisure.
Spring is just around the corner. Shop now for the largest selection at guaranteed lowest prices. Factory Direct pricing on all of the best brands, hundreds of in-stock sets.
Factory Direct patio furniture sale going on now at Family Leisure.
We took North Atlantic lobster and whole fillets of batter dipped fish and said, hey, let's put those bad boys on a bun. It's the new seafood sandwiches from Captain D's, what a fish sandwich should be. Gonna need both hands when the captain is called. Captain D's.
You're watching Local 24 News at 6.
Well, pretty soon, if you have an emergency in Memphis, you can not only call, but also text 911.
That's right. Memphis gets more 911 calls than any other city in Tennessee, and it will be the first in the state to offer the text to 911. Local 24 News reporter Tish Clark explains how it will work. It's all new at 6.
People are sending a lot more text nowadays, and if that's their normal way of communicating, we want that to be an option for them.
Shelby County 911 District is set to launch its Text to 911 service in just a few weeks, something officials have been working on since last summer.
The main driver of it was to give that access to the deaf and hard of hearing communities that use text on a regular basis to communicate.
And for people who have a medical emergency and can't speak, or those who are in danger and are afraid to call 911.
The text message needs to include the location and a brief description of the emergency.
If the service isn't available where you're texting from, you'll get a message telling you to call 911. If it is available, a dispatcher will text you back and ask you questions about your situation as emergency crews head your way. Okay, so we're going to take my phone and we're going to text 911. Now, the service is not active yet, but it will be soon. So when we do this, we text 911, we're going to get a
bounce back message.
Okay, and that takes
about a few seconds.
A few seconds. All right, so we're just going to try that. 911, I need help, send. Oh, here it is. The 911 center does not support texting. For an emergency, dial 911, and that only took a few seconds. Officials can pinpoint your location, but they prefer you text an exact address.
People should not turn in false text messages. It's the same as if you're calling 911 and giving a false alarm, and the Memphis police can prosecute them if they do that.
The service is expected to launch in the city limits of Memphis within 4 to 6 weeks and Shelby County within 6 to 8 months. In Memphis, Tish Clark, Local 24 News.